It's been raining every day, at least for the past 3 weeks. And I get 2 or 3 reports. There's one which is a national report, and I get one which is on the Volta Lake. So I can tell you that it's been raining on that lake quite seriously for the past few weeks. Okay. That suggests that the water level is rising. So the question I ask is, what plans are we putting in place? We don't want to get to another stage where they have to do a spillage and everybody is running helter-skelter, and then we are going to raise money for flood victims. We need to learn from history. So I'm just putting it out there. Those who are monitoring the lake, they should monitor it well. If they have something to do, they should start doing it quickly before it reaches any. So basically, VRA, I'm just saying to you, look, whatever you want to do, let the public be well informed.
It's very important. Yes. Let me add, though, that I'm so disappointed that as we speak, no institution of state capable of protecting the interests of the Ghanaian has found it necessary to look into exactly what happened in 2023. So that so many thousands of people, in excess of 40 or so thousand, both upstream and downstream, lost either their homes, businesses, or farms to water released from the dam or the storage of water in the dam, which has caused people to lose so much money, everything they've worked for the past God knows when. And yet we are seated in this country. The parliament that we have, they call themselves honorable members of our jurisdiction. So far, nothing has been done. We have Shiraj. Nothing has been done. We have the courts. We have not had any action to that effect. And it is as if people's livelihoods don't matter. And here we are paying the price for the high cost of, the price of tomatoes up. Food prices are going up because so many people lost their farms, going to the markets. Buying fish these days is now a very expensive venture.
Are you tracing the food price hikes to the Akosombo spillage?
It may well be part of the problem. This is to a large extent anecdotal. But Bernard, if you look at it critically, when did this thing happen? Sometime about 3 or so months.
September 2023.
Exactly.
The 15th that the spillage occurred.
Yes.
And it started slowly, and then by October, it became quite serious. So we were called in October. So it had been a month of spillage. And then we know there were about 10 constituencies downstream. So it's Sojaman, then you had Shai Osudoku, you had Ada, and then you had North Tong, South Tong, Central Tong, and then you also had Keta and Angono. They were all affected by the flood.
Keta South also.
Yes, and then of course, when the spillage was reduced, those who were upstream also started having problems because the water was a lot. So these guys, for me, I'm not holding brief, but I just feel like it's a very complicated situation.
Yeah, but Bernard, my point
in the sense that you notice that your relief was for both those who were downstream and upstream.
Yes.
That tells you that the flow. The people downstream were suffering because of the spillage, but the people upstream were also suffering because of not enough spillage.
Yes.
Do you understand my point?
Yes,
so it's quite complicated to know whether there was an optimal level they should have spilled.
Bernard, that is what a responsible state has got to investigate.
Okay.
Because you don't allow in excess of 40 or so thousand of your citizens to lose everything they have worked for decades. And then we are back to square one. We are back like, everybody is happy. Okay, City FM and many other listeners decided to support the people. They have a place to lay their heads now. Hospitals have been built. Homes have been built. Markets have been built.
So you want an inquest?
That is what we have got to do. Because here you are telling me that you are on a platform. It's been raining for the past 3 weeks in the western and then the northern part of Accra. We expect that it would have impact on the Akosombo Dam water levels. Now, we have not learned, most likely, from what happened in 2023. Or if we have learned anything at all, we have not told the public that, these were the things we did wrong. These were the things that we did right.
For that, I agree with you that, there must be some inquest which would then give us the reasons why we got where we got to, for which then the whole public can learn. And I think in this country, there's no accountability.
Yeah.
I think that's the issue where we only pick and choose what to pursue. And even when we do like these audits, we just use it for political points or just to make a case. Because a society that is determined to improve upon itself will say, look, this oughtn't have happened in the first place. What could we have done to improve this? And this will not be something VRA keeps to itself. This will be something that maybe the parliament invites them. They have a full probe, and then they do like a hearing. They get the VRA officials to come in. They call the NADMO officials to testify before the committee. The committee will then write a report, and the committee will then make a strong recommendation for specific things to be done. So, for example, the committee could even look into the so-called shelters to see how appropriate they are, because you don't want to repeat. And as I'm talking to you, because the water level is rising, we may well have another spillage on our hands. And I don't want to alarm anybody, but for me, I'm just looking at the volume of rain. You can ask the Metropole. It's been raining quite a lot these days, particularly up north. So a society that is determined to improve and not repeat mistakes will at least have a report that will say, oh, here is a report that the VRA, that the parliament has done after speaking to VRA, after speaking to NADMO and that's district assemblies and the MPs in the area and some of the affected people. And then they'll use that to inform policy that next time there's going to be a spillage, this is the series of activities that they must do. Here are the protocols they must follow. And then they may even vote some money to say, we are going to build new flood relief shelters. Like something. But in Ghana, it's almost like the thing has happened. People have come around, media has rallied, we build some shelters, we all go back to sleep, waiting for the next one. Now, that is not a society that is determined to do better. And I think that you're right. Parliament ought to have poked its nose into this matter. And it's not too late. It's not too late, because at least a hearing, you see, the oxygen of a democracy is the media. When you put a hearing on television, we all watch and learn. They ask questions. Why did this happen? Is this the best way to have done it? Call an expert. Is the dam secure? How much volume of rain can compromise the dam? So you can even start planning for further. How will this affect the Pualugu Dam? If the Pualugu Dam has been built, would it have helped to ease the level of pressure? Because you see, for me, what I say is that the amount of water we have, fresh water we have in Ghana, most West African countries don't have it. Managing that is a joint responsibility. Okay, so the Pualugu Dam, we did a story. The most important story was that, the minority people went there, they didn't see anything. Big story. 2 weeks, we've gone and left it. Okay. So it's not like we are really seeking to solve the problem. We are looking more like using the problem to score some political points here and there, and then we move to the next scandal. And that's not a very good way of living. So just as an opening this morning, I think Sky has convinced me, Parliament ought to look into the whole management of the Volta Basin again, and then find a way of preventing another disaster.